Call the roll.
Trustee Daney? Here. Gansey? Here. Gunstein? Here. Hopkins? Here. Ranky?
Present.
Suwanski? Here. President Wallace?
Here. We've requested that Reverend Andrew Weiss from the Faith World Outreach Church do our invocation. Andy?
As we go into the next part of our holiday season, your safety and protection on over everyone who serves in this community for a blessed new year. In Jesus' name.
Thank you, Reverend.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I'm going to take that off of consent. Dan. Cocoa crawl. We have to have a vote on it. Brings us our consent agenda this evening. All items listed with an asterisk will be enacted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion on the items on the consent agenda. At this time, is there anything that anyone would like to add or remove from the consent?
I'd like to remove number 2 under license and ordinances.
Number 1.
Number 1. I'm sorry, number 1.
Yep. Okay. It has to have a consent of the board. Anything else? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to amend the consent agenda to include the following: board and committee minutes from November 16, 2021, the bills list from December 7, 2021. The consent this evening will also include, under building and zoning, item A1. Under Community and Economic Development, item B1. The consent this evening will also be including under item D2.
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Daney, seconded by Trustee Hopkins. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Ranky?
Yes.
Suwanski?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Gunstein?
Yes.
Hopkins?
That motion carries. That we have on the, actually, I'll entertain a motion to approve the amended consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee Daney, seconded by Trustee Gunstein. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Suwanski?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Gunstein?
Yes.
Hopkins? Ranky?
Yes.
That motion carries. Next item we have on our agenda this evening is the President's Report. And there's one item we need to take care of. We have some spots open on a few of our committees, and we have an interested person on that with the advice and consent of the Village Board. I'd like to appoint Julie Kapadoukakis to a 4-year term on the Plan Commission beginning December 7th, 2021. I'll entertain a motion to consent the appointment.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Daney, seconded by Trustee Gunstein. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Daney?
Sorry. Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Gunstein?
Yes.
Hopkins? Yes. Ranky?
Yes.
Suwanski?
Yes.
That motion carries. And Julie's here tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your willingness to serve on this committee. So looking forward to seeing you on Friday, possibly.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Along with the rest of you. So thank you, Julie. Yep.
I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah.
Working with a good group of people over there. So good luck.
Expecting big things out of you, Julie. Question and answer. Anybody have anything for the staff?
Yes, Mr. President, I had a couple things I'd like to, John People, and he has an anniversary, and Paul Peterson of Food and Beverage, manager over at Bartlett Hills, they have anniversaries. John has been with the village for 7 years, and Paul has been with the village for 21 years. So congratulations, gentlemen. And also, a couple of birthdays. Paul Peterson, his birthday's on the 16th. And Bob Allen, who's here this evening, is the 31st. You just made it. Mom and Dad got the tax credit for you, 31st. And then I'm very proud to say that the good guy up here, all right, the good-looking guy, it's my birthday on the 13th of December.
Yeah. It's going to be 8.544 squared. You can figure out the math on that.
And then on a more serious side, I'd also like to say, in remembrance of Trustee Camera, his birthday was is coming up on the 26th of December, so I hope we all remember Doc on the 26th. And speaking of that, we're going to have a very short memorial. Speaking of that, we're going to have a very short memorial service over at Bartlett Cemetery on the 26th. It's a Sunday, and that will be in honor of Doc Camera and Trustee Camera, and that will start at 1 o'clock. It's let's hope the weather cooperates a little bit with us. And about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the 26th at Bartlett Cemetery, and a little small short remembrance for Doc Camera. Thank you, Mr. President. That's all I have.
And the reason why we kind of wanted to do that is because his headstone is in, so it'll be just more of a kind of stop by and show your respect. So anybody that wants to attend that, they're welcome to.
Well, I forgot. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I forgot one more thing. I'm going to do it now rather than wait till the last meeting of the month. But Bob Acaro has been on the ZBA for 9 years, and he's celebrating an anniversary for the ZBA on the 20th of this month. So congratulations, Bob. That's all I have, Mr. President.
All right. Anything else from anybody?
I just have a couple comments. Guys, I just wanted to thank staff for all their hard work they did on the Merry and Bright this past week.
Yeah.
Based off the turnout, I can honestly say, going there the last 15-plus years, I truly believe it was the biggest turnout we've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And I felt like it really went off without a hitch, and proud to be part of that team, and glad to see it's growing, and I think we're going to continue to see it growing year after year. So, great job.
Yeah, well done. Very well done.
Yes, that couple you pulled from the crowd.
Randomly?
Randomly
fantastic.
to light the lights, they did a great job.
That's awesome.
Does anyone have any idea how many people we had out there? A ballpark, an estimate, just...
We were thinking about 2,000.
What?
Yeah, based on our National Night Out numbers and kind of going off of that. And having worked the horse line, it was pretty easy to get to that number, I think.
Yeah, I think maybe next year we need 2 sets of horses.
That's what you,
Aaron,
I believe you said that, right?
Trustee Ranky, would you like to share something about the carriage ride?
He waited in the line a long time.
I love the carriage ride.
It was fantastic. And,
Did Kramer feed the horse Beano?
and I think I don't know who said this, but I think a second set of horses next year, and I know the plan is to make it larger every year, and it's just fantastic. It was fantastic. Thank you very much for your hard work. My daughter loved it. You know, she didn't get to see Olaf and Anna, but she got to ride on the horse and see Santa, and that's just a great experience.
Yeah, well done.
Those holiday cars were really nice, too.
The cars were awesome. Yeah, it was a little different. It was very cool.
Nobody's mentioned Santa.
Yeah,
Okay.
as long as we're on that topic, we should probably thank Bartlett Park District and the Lions Club and Library District for that as well. So everybody came together, and it was a fantastic event. And the downtown area looks fantastic too. Thank you, Dan. Looks great. Anything else? All right. Next item is our town hall portion of the meeting. If anyone would like to address the board, you can step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record. I'm going to ask, is it Chris on our hybrid, if anyone is in queue that would like to speak?
No, sir, there is not.
Okay. Like the cold weather, scared a bunch of people away from the meeting tonight, so.
I think there's one.
Oh,
We did that one.
the little blue,
Green light
the
on,
green light on?
just press the base.
There we go. Can I?
Yeah, you can take that.
Okay. My name is Joe Verzillo. I've been a resident of Bartlett for over 15 years now. Excuse me, I live in Castle Creek. We like it here, and my family wants to stay here, and I want to build a little home no more than 3 blocks away from here in Williamsburg Estates. We purchased a lot. I'll make this as quick as possible. I don't want to bore you with all the details. But so we purchased a lot on 1/29 of 21, and we paid $90,000 for the lot. Obviously, before I bought the lot, I did my due diligence, and I went on the website and tried to calculate all my costs to build this home. Based on what I found, and if you like, I have copies of what is on the site, if you guys would like to see it. I believe there are 6 copies there. That's what's on the site, and this is what I was given by the building department on 11/3 of 21. So as I was saying, I'd love to stay here. My kids grew up here, went to school here. I was part of the housing boom with Centex, Pulte, Ryland. You know, we put up thousands of homes back in the day. We collapsed. So I'm quite familiar with what needs to take place in villages as to developments. I am not a developer, first thing. I own a small remodeling company. Been in business for almost 15 years. I plan on building the home for my family, myself, my wife, and I still have a 25-year-old at home. Not for long, hopefully, but he's still there. So it's a 2,000 square foot or just under 2,000 square foot home with a 3-car garage. And as I said, it's literally 3 blocks away from here. I'm a little upset at the cost. They're calling it donations. So unfortunately, I passed out everything to you guys, but to the council. But you can see they're looking for $16,000 in donations, which is unheard of. I've talked to other villages. You know, the last house that I built in Huntley, building costs were $3,700. That's for permits. That's for fees. As you can see, I'm going to be paying what they want me to pay is over almost $22,000 between fees and donations. Now, I have no problem paying a premium in fees because I've lived here. I know the community. Kids went to school in the community. I shop in the community. Family, friends in the community. So I don't have a problem paying a premium. What I do have a problem with is the absurd donations. First off, when we developed these thousands of homes back in the days, donations were necessary because the infrastructure needed to be put in. This lot in Williamsburg Estates has been there since the 60s. I'm not going to do anything there that's going to impact what the village needs to do in order for me to build this house. You don't have to pay for sewer. You don't have to put in streets. You don't have to do anything. It's all on me. So, being that I am not a developer and I don't plan on developing a big piece of land for profit, I plan on doing this for myself and the way I've calculated the numbers with all the cost of building gone crazy, I might be able to get in there at what other homes are at market value right now. Last I looked, average home in that area is about 300,000. I'll probably end up being at 400,000 because with the lot, because of the increase in costs. So asking for, I don't know, some help on this so that I can go ahead and proceed. Everything is in the building department. I stopped once I got that letter of fees. I did not go any further because, quite frankly, those $15,000, you know, we can use to buy all the appliances in the house, all the cabinets in the house, the windows, you know, lots of stuff. So,
Did you review these, Bert? You?
yes, I met with, I'm sorry, I skipped over that. I did meet on 11/24. I met with Katie Sparrow and Roberta, and I noticed that Roberta's here. She advised me that these costs, and by the way, none of this information is in the building department online. Those fees are, but none of the donations are.
The donation are in the donation ordinance, which is part of the subdivision ordinance.
I'm sorry?
The donation ordinance of the village is in the municipal code, in the subdivision section of the ordinance, which is Title 11. So they are on the villages, in the municipal code and on the website.
Okay, I quite frankly, I had a real hard time finding it. I did everything possible, under search, impact fees, donations, everything and anything. I was told by Roberta that they're on site. I, as of an hour ago, kept looking and did not find anything. So I believe, here, the bottom line is this. If they were on building department site and it said, okay, so much for 1 bedroom, so much for 2 bedroom, so much for 3 bedroom, and I would have added all those costs up, I wouldn't have bought the lot. I mean, because we're talking about a lot of money that can go towards building the house, and now that the costs of building the house are way up there, I'm in a bad spot. So I either move forward with your help, or I put it for sale and move on. I'd like to build it. My wife would like to build it. I'd like to be in the neighborhood, but so I'm looking for some assistance.
Okay.
When staff met with Joe, we did explain to him that these 2017 donation ordinance fees actually were $5,000 lower than they were in 2013.
Ever a house on this lot?
There has never been a house on this lot.
No. So what I'm saying is there's no impact to the village. This house, this lot and the house next to it were one pin. The owners separated the lot and the house and sold them, and they retired and went to Florida. Somebody bought the lot, somebody bought the house, and I bought the lot.
Okay, well, we'll have to rely on staff to see if there's any type of wiggle room on those fees. I mean, I don't think there is. No, just what they are.
Staff don't have the ability to change the donation
No.
fees.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if those fees were going to the village, but these are, the donations go to all the other taxing bodies.
Okay, so are they truly in the sense of donation, like if I wanted to make a donation to Leukemia Foundation or breast cancer or whatever, are they true donations going to the library, to the police?
Yes.
Okay, so can I make a separate check for every one of those departments if I'm going to do it, if these are true donations?
It is a true donation. You write it to the village, and we write it to each of those taxing bodies out of what you pay. And it's set up that way in the donation ordinance. It's to cover they cost that they incur before you build, or before the assessment catches up and your tax bill covers it. So the donation ordinance has been in place, I think, since '87 at least, and it's been amended mostly downward in the last several years. But
And I understand, okay, if I was coming in and developing a large parcel where it would require the village to spend some money.
this is based on number of bedrooms, and there's a portion that goes to each of those taxing bodies to cover the costs of them providing services in the interim. And it's been in place for years.
Yeah, I'm a resident, and I've been paying on my tax bill, every one of those.
As we all do, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'll suggest that maybe we have an additional meeting and see if there's any way that we can try to figure out what we can trim as far as the village side, but the donations we have no control over.
and I had a discussion with my accountant because I figured that it wasn't gonna go my way. You know, I had this bad feeling. If I wrote the check again, can I get a letter from the village stating that these are donations?
Clear in the ordinance that they're donations. So,
Well, it's
Right
not
in the
me, it's
code.
for the IRS. Because if I claim it as donations, I don't wanna get in trouble.
it's a donation. It's in the ordinance, and it reflects that those monies, certain amount based on the number of bedrooms, goes to each of those taxing districts. Out of what you pay the village, we hold it in trust, and then we pass it out to the taxing.
Assuming that if it was a two-bedroom versus a three-bedroom, it would be less.
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Joe.
Appreciate it. And, Roberta, let's talk. Thank you again.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to address the board at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on to standing committee reports this evening. First standing committee report is Building and Zoning Committee, Chairman Hopkins.
Thank you, President Wallace. Item A1, the 2022 annual meeting schedule was covered under the consent agenda tonight, and that's all we have.
Thank you, Chairman Hopkins. Community and Economic Development Committee, Chairman Gansey.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our one item was covered under consent tonight.
Thank you, Chairman Gansey. Finance and Goal Committee, Chairman Daney.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have 4 items on our agenda this evening. The first one is a resolution adopting. The first item on the agenda is a resolution adopting the 2022 through 26 capital improvement program. And with that, I move to approve Resolution 2021-106-R, a resolution adopting the 2022-26 capital improvements program.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Daney, seconded by Trustee Hopkins. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Gansey?
Yes.
Gunstein?
Yes.
Hopkins? Ranky?
Yes.
Swansky?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
That motion carries.
Second item on the agenda is ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the general corporate and other purposes of the Village of Bartlett, Cook, DuPage, and Kane Counties, Illinois, for the fiscal year beginning May 1, 2021, and ending April 30th, 2022. And with that, I move to approve ordinance number 2021-107, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the general corporate and other purposes of the Village of Bartlett, Cook, DuPage, and Kane County, Illinois, for the fiscal year beginning May 1, 2021, and ending April 30th, 2022.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Daney, seconded by Trustee Swansky. The clerk, please, is there any discussion about the levy? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Gunstein?
Yes?
Hopkins? Ranky?
Yes.
Swansky?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
That motion carries.
Third, we have an ordinance abating a portion of the taxes heretofore levied for the year 2021 to pay debt service on general obligation refunding bond series 2017, general obligation refunding bond series 2019, and general obligation bond series 2021A of the Village of Bartlett, DuPage, Kane, and Cook Counties. And with that, I move to approve abatement ordinance 2021-108, an ordinance abating a portion of taxes heretofore levied for the year 2021 to pay debit service on general obligation refunding bond series 2017, general obligation refunding bond series 2019, and general obligation bond series 2021A of the Village of Bartlett, DuPage, Kane, and Cook County, Illinois.
Moved by trustee Daney, seconded by trustee Hopkins. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Hopkins? Yes. Ranky?
Yes.
Swansky?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Gunstein?
Motion carries.
And lastly, item 4, we have an ordinance abating certain 2021 tax levies of the Village of Bartlett for Special Service Area Number 1, Bluff City. And with that, I move to approve ordinance number 2021-109, an ordinance abating certain 2021 tax levies of the Village of Bartlett for Special Service Area Number 1, Bluff City.
Moved by trustee Daney, seconded by trustee Hopkins. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Ranky?
Yes.
Swansky?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Gunstein? Hopkins?
That motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. President. That's all we have this evening on the agenda.
Thank you, Chairman Daney. License and Ordinance Committee, Chairman Gunstein.
Mr. President, tonight we have one item on our agenda that we need to vote on, and that is our Cocoa Crawl Class D liquor license. Pull that up here. As part of the Village's Cocoa Crawl event, 4 businesses have applied for a Class D liquor license, allowing these businesses to serve alcohol as part of a special event. Closet Boutique and Little Shop on Oak, Wow, CBD, Magnum Realty have all submitted applications. If nobody has any further discussion, I'd like to move to approve this Class D liquor license.
Second.
Moved by trustee Gunstein, seconded by trustee Swansky. Does anybody have any questions about the Cocoa Crawl?
It's the mayor's appointment, village president with the approval of the board.
Yes.
So it would be to those specific entities, and your motion would be to
Request for the Closet
approve that.
Boutique and Little Shop on Oak, WOW, CBD, and Magnum Realty. So that just corrects the record. Motion by trustee Gunstein, seconded by trustee Swansky. Does anybody have any questions about our Cocoa Crawl? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Swansky?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Gunstein?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
Ranky?
Yes.
The motion carries, and that liquor license will be issued.
That's all we have tonight. Our first item was covered under, our other item was covered under consent.
Thank you, Chairman Gunstein. Police and Health Committee, Chairman Swansky.
Thank you, President Wallace. We have nothing to report from Police and Health.
Thank you, Chairman Swansky. Public Works Committee, Chairman Ranky.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have one item tonight involving insulated aerobic digester covers. I move to approve Resolution 2021-110, a resolution approving a change order number 1 to the contract between Joseph J. Henderson and Son, Inc. and the Village of Bartlett for the Bitterseat Water Reclamation Facility improvements for a $493,250 decrease in the original contract sum.
Second.
Moved by trustee Ranky, seconded by trustee Daney. Is there any discussion?
My question to Dan or Mr. Dinges is very quickly, is having an uninsulated aerobic digester cover going to run up our costs or shorten the life of the facility or anything?
No, it'll affect the efficiency slightly, but not enough. We weighed the pros and cons of it, and the savings was it's definitely worth the savings based on what we were able to determine. So we're saying let's go with it.
It's a $500,000 difference right off the bat.
Yeah, that was a lot more than I think any of us anticipated, so,
It's expensive insulation.
yeah, for sure.
Now, in the future, would it be relatively easy if we needed the insulated aerobic digester covers to get them insulated?
I don't think it would be easy to do. We don't see the need. We haven't had an insulated, I mean, if you've been out there, you've seen the white tarps. That's what we have now, so they're clearly not insulated, and actually they're flapping in the wind, so we don't really have covers at all. So getting the uninsulated covers is going to be 10 times better than what we currently have. So I think we'll be fine without any issues. It's more about the odor control is what really the covers will take care of the most, is the odor control. So this will solve that issue.
So is it going to be more odoriferous?
Without the insulation?
Yeah.
No, they're still gonna be covered, so it will contain the odors a lot better than we currently have, for sure.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Of uninsulated sewage. Anyone have any other questions?
Good work, by the way.
Yeah, well done. The clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Gunstein? Yes. Hopkins? Yes. Ranky?
Yes.
Swansky?
Yes.
That motion carries.
We have for Public Works.
Thank you, Chairman Ranky. New business? Anybody have any new business?
Yes, I would like to just ask if the staff could, I know it's something we've discussed kind of behind the scenes, is we've had some questions about lighting on some of the walking or bike trails on West Bartlett Road between the equestrian facility and the community center. But apparently that bike trail is going to be considered needs to be redone, I guess, anyway, so maybe we could just get an update on that.
We do have that bike path on South Bartlett Road scheduled for resurfacing. We can look at lighting the path, I guess. The question is, budget-wise, we did not anticipate it. The cost would definitely go up if we're going to light the path. And would we be looking at lighting the path itself, or more of lighting the roadway, which would then cover kind of the bike path at the same time, I guess is the question. I was looking at it, and there are utility poles along the west side between the bike path and the road. So probably the cheapest option right now to get lights would be talking to ComEd to see if they could put Cobra heads on some of those poles, which would light up the road and bleed over to the path. It wouldn't totally light up the path. That would probably be the least cost option. If we're looking at doing like a decorative type light that would light up the path itself, that's going to be significant dollars that we can look in and just kind of put numbers together for sure.
None of the bike paths are lighted, is that?
Correct. That's kind of my concern. If we start lighting that one, then what about the ComEd easement, which that's got to be really dark because there's nothing out there, or the pipe one, there's all kinds of bike paths that then we would be looking into.
I think Dan's solution with the utility poles is similar to what we have on West Bartlett Road, where it's the lighting for the street that kind of spills over a little bit onto the path. And if we can provide at least some additional lighting, auxiliary, in that instance, rather than dedicated lights for that. If we could.
Right.
And that may be all that the concern is. I think it's just been presented to me that it's very dark, and I don't know if it's considered a safety issue or not. I'm just going by what it was presented, that it's very dark on that.
Yeah, I think that ComEd idea is a good idea. See how that works.
I can talk to them and see if they could.
You don't want to get too much light there because there's a lot of deer and stuff that are in that area.
Yeah,
I drove
I'm not
Newport.
asking to start lighting all the bike paths. This is just an area that
I was driving Newport actually on the way to the meeting and paying attention because you have the bike path and the lights are on that same side, and it actually does light it up. So I think that would work. So I'll talk to ComEd, see what that would take in order to add some Cobra heads onto that.
Thank you.
That works. So.
And do you think that 59 in Stearns will be striped this year?
At this point, well, if they get out there next week when it's 50s, Otherwise, I have my doubts.
Thank you.
Anything else? Thank you, trustee Swansky. Good points. Any questions or issues? Nothing, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by trustee Daney, seconded by trustee Gunstein. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Gansey?
Yes.
Gunstein? Hopkins? Ranky?
Yes.
Swansky?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
We are adjourned.